Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and Austria have won their first game in the FIFA World Cup 2026, defeating Jordan at 3-1 in a very entertaining and a competitive game. And the scoreline does not reflect what happened in the game. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm really silent. I really feel for Jordan here. If I'm being very honest with you, I think they played their hearts out. They were so good. It's the first time they are playing in the World Cup. It's the first ever game, and the way that they played. I mean, Austrian fans know this as well. That this game should not have been that much competitive. They should have won this game quite easily. The scoreline is going to say a 3-1, but it was not a 3-1 game. Jordan really took Austria, and up until the last breath they had to dig deep. They had to get everything that they have to get the 3 points against this Jordanian side. And you have to take your hats off. Every single day, I sit here, and at the last game that happens, the last game of the day, every single day, almost every single day, becomes so entertaining. And yet again today, this Jordan versus Austria game was so good for me. I think out of the four games that were played today, this was the most entertaining game. The way that Jordan and Austria played, that in that first half, especially, I mean, the way that both of them went on, it was played on such a high tempo that the half went just like that. You did not even know how quickly the half finished, even the hydration break and everything. You can say it was so quickly that so quick the game went by, flew by the game, especially that first half. And two spectacular goal from both the sides. First, Austria score at almost like a 25-yard screamer. Then Jordan reply back from almost like a 25-yard screamer themselves as well. Great goals, and it is 1-1. And even in the second half, coming back, they just kept on going. I think you sort of expected Austria to keep on going. I think when Jordan scored the goal in that second half, there was like a 10-15 minute period where Austria were really poor, and that was a time where Jordan should have taken advantage. But this is the thing, being an inexperienced side, playing in a World Cup for the first time, you don't have experience of this type of things. They were not really able to capitalize on that momentum. And you have to give credit to Rafael Ragnick, that he realized that things are not going to the way that he wants, and they are not going things are not going that his team wants them to go. So he makes a couple of big substitutions, brings on Arnautovic, and the moment he comes on, he basically starts changing the game. That Jordanian defenders, unfortunately, they had a really good game, but they are not really able to handle Arnautovic, and he starts creating problems, making those runs, starts bullying them. And if you have watched Arnautovic play, he's the type of a player that is going to create this type of scene. He's going to mess with you mentally, and that the psychological game that Arnautovic has, a very few players in football have, and he's really good at it. And you could just see the moment he came on, the game started to switch again in the Austrian favor. Score a goal. Arnautovic is the one that he scores the goal, and it gets ruled offside. Not offside, it gets ruled off because of handball. And you're thinking, Jordan, that this is the best time. Now you need to make sure you don't concede. They go for hydration break. They come back after the hydration break, and within like a minute or and a half, they get another corner and they concede. And unfortunately for them, it's an own goal. Arnautovic again involved for that process as well, and it becomes a 2-1. And I think that was a really poor time for Jordan to concede. I think the heads went down. They just had come back from the hydration break. Just before the hydration break, they were on the real high because the goal was disallowed. So they felt like they were in a game, they had a chance. And then straight away after the hydration break, they conceded. I think that was a really good timing for Austria to score, but a really bad timing for Jordan to concede. And that basically was the game. If I'm being very honest with you, Jordan had two or three big chances after that, but nothing really dangerous. And Austria themselves, it was a very fast-paced game, and you cannot really say that one team dominated, or the other team really dominated. It was a evenly played game, and for a majority of the game, it was Jordan who was leading on the number of chances, creating a number of the shots on target and whatnot. And Australia had to play catch up, and they did that in the second half. As I said, they kept on getting better and better. And Jordan, even though they kept on playing good football, they did not make that many chances in that second half as they did in that first half. And overall, I personally felt, even the 2-1 was a bit harsh for Jordan. I felt it was it should have been a draw would have been a fair result, because I think both of them deserved something out of this game. Unfortunately, it became 2-1, and in the end, they conceded a penalty, which was really, really harsh and really, really hard on Jordan, if I'm being very honest with you, because they really did not deserve to lose with such a scoreline. And as I said before, the Austrian fans know it as well. But it is what it is. It is football. This stuff like this is gonna happen, and you cannot stop this. A massive, massive win for Austria, especially after Argentina had won their game, so now they know that they had to win their game as well. They were 3 points on level with Argentina, and now it's between Algeria and Jordan. I think the way that the game was played, Jordan can take a lot of heart from it. I think they played much, much better than Algeria, and I think if there's a chance of a third place team going, I think Jordan would be again disappointed that they conceded that second goal, because goal difference can come in handy. And if I'm Argentina and if I'm Algeria and I'm looking at this game, I would be, would be thinking about this game, because the way that both of these teams are played, it's not going to be an easy game. I think Argentina, they got lucky. I think Algeria were really, really poor today, but they're going to look at this game and they're going to be thinking, okay, we won our first game 3-0 quite convincingly, but playing against this Austrian side and again playing against this Jordanian side, it's not going to be easy. And I think this group is still wide open. Jordan might have lost today, but I think the way that they played, and Algeria lost as well, but I don't think the way that Algeria played, it's not like the other two teams are going to think that it's going to be a tough game. I think every single game matters in the way that you play as well. And I think Algeria are now going to look at this game the way Jordan plays, and they are going to be a bit intimidated. And Jordan are going to go in that game against Algeria, or they are going to go against in that game against Argentina with a lot more confidence than they had coming into this game. And Austria at same as that, because they know how much of a tough game it was and how hard it was to win that game. So Austria's confidence is going to be really high as well, that we won such a high game. And if they end up beating Algeria, it's a very easy, simple ticket for Austria to go into the next round. So, and that is why it was a huge, huge win for Austria. That it's a big, big chance for them to qualify into the next round. And I think it is going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be a problem for Austria. If I'm being very honest, I think they are going to qualify, because I just don't see Algeria defeating either of Jordan or Austria. I think Australia are going to get the job done in that game. Then it's up to Argentina. I personally feel Argentina are going to, top the group, and then Austria might be second. So in that regard, I think it's a massive, massive win for Austria. I think Rangnick will be very, very happy with the way that his team played, almost like for, let's say, with the team, the surprise factor of the team against Jordan. I think they performed really, really well. So Rangnick will be very happy. They get the 3 points. His main striker scores the goal, and a spectacular game as well. Jordan, first game of the World Cup, they scored a spectacular goal. They played really, really well. Unfortunately, they did not win, but I think they learned quite a lot, and their confidence, as I said, it's going to be on a real high, and they are going to be looking forward to their next 2 games. And I still have a feeling they might sneak into the into the next round if they get a result against Algeria. That's what we in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, and what you guys thought of Austria's performance and Jordan's performance in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification button, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the group stages, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.